G'day guys, Happy New Year, welcome to the Iron Empire. This time we're going to be recapping 2020. Okay, so this morning I was scrolling through my social media and I come across David Freiberger's Instagram stories, and it was recapping everything that he'd achieved in 2020, and I thought it was an awesome idea and maybe my chance to recap everything that I've done in 2020 in regard to the channel. Firstly, obviously, if you don't watch Roadkill or Motor Trend Hot Rod Garage, get onto that, because that is what's totally inspired me to do this channel to start with. I'm sitting here on my laptop, and we're basically going to be going through everything that I've done on this channel and basically touch on pretty much the highlights of what I've achieved. And it's actually made me feel a little bit better, because at times I do feel like I've dragged my feet with projects. Obviously I am, plans deviate, but overall it's been a pretty successful year. So to start with, we're day 2 of 2021 and this is my first video, so that's already better than last year, because I didn't start my 2020 until February. I was very slack, and the first video was a walk around of my block and pretty much a Valiant update, and then a walk around of all my cars. So what I'm going to do is jump quickly into this video, and this is going to tell us a lot of what I've done and what has changed this year. So to start with, I'm driving the VG and I popped the diff. That hasn't changed because that's still sitting there ready to go. So I'm gonna basically say that's a fail, because I've had a year to work on that car and I haven't. But I have ordered the parts, so don't hold me too harshly to that. First one is the Tia Cortina, and that thing has since gone to my cousin. He's gonna put the motor back in that and get that back on the road. So I'll hopefully do some updates on that in the coming year. Moving on, there's a few cars that have just been shifted around. Nothing too exciting happened there. But moving on to this little truck, used to be my old truck. I actually done a video on that, doing some compression booster additive, and I put it in that truck and I got it running again, and I on-sold that thing. So that's a video, if you haven't already seen, scroll back and check that out. Next car along is the XB. As you all know, that has gone to get some restoration work done, body work, by a friend of mine, Jake. So that is a work in progress. The body work is getting done in exchange for this vehicle, which is an XB Ute. Jake wants this as his shop Ute, and he's going to be doing some body work for me. So that's in the process of happening, as you would have seen updates on this channel. The International C1500, that I done a video on, got that running, went for a spin around the block. I've then since put that online for sale. I've had a few little nibbles, and I've actually had a bit of interest lately, but I've just been too busy to get back to people, so I probably could have sold that, but it is what it is. The other XB Ute, that would have also, you would have seen on a video recently, that sold, went to Queensland. Charlie's F-Trucks, a lot's changed in that neck of the woods. You would have seen these 3 F-Trucks on my channel, having a bit of fun dragging these back from the Barossa, and you'll see updates on the main F100 on Charlie Dixon's channel. So if you aren't already following him, jump onto Charlie's channel and check out the updates on that thing. The AU XR8, obviously that got dragged out of the paddock. We got that thing together, and that pops up in an episode during the year as well. And looking at my shed, that has changed drastically. So that's a year ago. Only had a few, well, the walls up, no roof, and yeah, that was miles off of finished. The concrete only just went down then. So yeah, so that's a fair bit of difference already just in that one video. The first actual proper video of the year was Charlie and I went and done some hot laps at the bend, at Tailem Bend there for an open track night. That's before he gutted his GS supercharged ute and he was cruising around in his Monaro. If you haven't checked out that episode, go check that out. That was a wicked fun. The VJ ute, you would have seen this pop up actually the year before last, and then I done a video on this which then become swapped for the XA ute. The XA ute is, I didn't really do much to this car. That was already painted, obviously. I done wheels and tyres, I lowered it, I put some stickers on it, and I sent it on its way. And that car is pretty much responsible for this channel being as successful as it has been so far, because I only had about, I reckon I only had about 270 subscribers or something like that before I released that video. And within the week, I released this video here, 1,000 subscribers. It blew my mind. It went absolutely bananas. And then within 3 days, it doubled. I was at 2,000 subscribers. So a huge thank you to anyone who was already following me before that, and then obviously who jumped on after that, because that has just really was the foundation of this channel. So that was really exciting times through there. My laptop's giving me the shits already. Obviously I'm better with a spanner in my hand than on a computer. The F100 and AU switcheroo. This was a really cool episode. It was very divided. Some people thought that I was crazy for swapping it for this rusty old F100. Some people thought the AU was a piece of junk. I honestly thought it was a pretty good swap. They're both really good cars in their own right, and as you know, the F100 has gone on to be a pretty regular vehicle on this channel, so there's obviously some upgrades for that in the future. The video following that was me airbagging my Fairlane. This was a absolutely huge task. It lasted quite a while, and it's a pretty big video, 25 minutes. That thing still does need some tweaking. I'm not happy with some of the stuff on that thing, but it's drivable. So yeah, there'll be some upgrades on that soon. The video following that was Phil Edmondson and I. If you haven't already, jump onto Phil's channel, check out some of the stuff he's been doing. He's been a little bit quiet because he works away, but he'll be back very soon, so you'll see some stuff very shortly on that. He picked up an F100 as well. He's doing some pretty crazy mods on that. Definitely worth watching Phil's channel. I've done another shed update 7 months ago, and I put the vehicles in the shed for the first time, which is cool. One of those vehicles has since gone, and that shed is now packed to the brim with junk already. Following that, I actually done my first little video called Just the Tip, and I was trying to do weekly updates on little tips, little things that I've learnt along the way to help people with working on their cars, little simple hacks that can be handy. I kept that going for a little while, but I've been very slack lately, so I'll bring some more of them to you in the new year, so bear with me with that. My cousin Shane and I brought back his dad's VG Valiant Hardtop Survivor. That was a cool video. Once again, if you haven't seen any of these videos, go back and check them out. There's tons. I've done another Just a Tip on Andy's Valiant wagon, which I installed electronic power steering in. That is the best tip ever. Electronic power steering is the best mod. It's going in my F100. It's pretty much going in any car that I build from now on. I'm never going to use pulleys again. The F100, I've done a full exhaust on that. That was an episode there, which obviously sounds way better. The Datsun, unfortunately I built this car well before the channel existed, but I've done a few little mods to that, maybe a bit of maintenance, and you would have seen, that's the only time you would have ever seen my Datsun on this channel, but I hope to get that out again soon, because that is one cool little rig and I don't think I'll ever get rid of that. The VL, my first Holden. This is a bit of a sticking point for me because it fought me. It fought me for weeks, and I get hassled about this thing. That's 6 months ago. For 6 months, you guys have been asking me what's going on with this VL. I had one again today. What's going on with the VL? Okay, I have been working on the VL. When I say I've been working, I've spent another hour on the VL. And yes, I recorded some stuff, but I haven't got anything for you yet. It'll be very soon. Within 2 weeks, you'll see a video on the VL. Yeah, look, I got some merch during the year as well. That was pretty exciting. I got some merch. I thought that maybe 5 people might buy a t-shirt. I ended up selling quite a bit of merch. I ended up releasing some hats. It was really humbling to have people buying my stuff and wanting to wear it. That spun me out, and yeah, hugely appreciated anyone who jumped on and bought an OG Iron Empire t-shirt off me. The XY, I sold an XY Falcon. My uncle and I built that well before this channel existed, and we done a little road trip to the border in the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, and we swapped that at the border. That went to Victoria, and that was a cool little episode. With the money from that, with some of the money from that, I bought myself a new cruiser, the ZF Fairlane. That has had a few little upgrades done to it. I've been working on that recently as well, so you'll see a video on that coming up soon. I done 2-part on a Harley that I done some airbrushing and full overhaul of this bike. Uncle Mark and I got into that, and that was a cool video because we took that to a family friend that went for a 60th birthday present. That was a cool episode, although I have since realized that not many of my subscribers are Harley people or bike people in general, because most of my bike videos don't get many views. They're pretty cool, so check them out if you haven't already. There's 2 or 3 Harley videos on my channel, so go check them out if you haven't already. Bit of a different style than my cars, but yeah, it's good all the same. It's good fun. Moving along to only a couple of months ago, I done a very spare of the moment event called Cars and Coffee at Narracourt, or Narracourt Cars and Coffee as the locals are calling it. I decided to do a little car event and ended up with about 40 odd cars rock up with only about 3 days of notice, and it was awesome. The locals loved it. I got to see a bunch of cars I've never seen before. Really nice people down there as well, and the good news is the locals have kept that going. There's already been one more event since that day. Unfortunately, I didn't make it. And I think they've got another one coming up in early this year. So I'm going to hopefully get down to Narracourt to that again. So that was really cool to do. Roll racing with Phil Edmondson, where he jumped in his twin turbo XB hardtop, and that was awesome for one pull. And then he had some teething issues, which is unfortunately not overly unusual for cars that are putting out this sort of power. These are huge horsepower cars, extremely impressive, but unfortunately on the day, a few little hiccups that just made it not a happening thing. But I'm sure he'll be attending the roll racing coming up very soon in the new year, because that's coming up literally every month. There's roll racing at Taylor Benton, so get out, check that out if you haven't already. Also, a couple of months ago, the F100 Project Daily, I decided to do turn my daily driver, my F100 into a daily driver. So at the moment I'm driving around a BF Falcon, which is great, but I want this F100 to be another daily driver option for me. So I want it to have all the goodies. And since that video, I've done one other quick video doing the interior, making that much more comfortable. So that was the start, and I haven't done anything since then, but it's already way better inside that truck, nice and clean, and it's going to be a good rig. I also put out a video, a 2-minute video looking for my first car. It took me less than 5 minutes to find my first car. No, pretty much 12 hours. In 12 hours I found it, and yeah, no good. It's knackered, which led me to the other video of my LTD, which I only released 3 weeks ago. So yeah, another cool little project. Have been tinkering with that car as well. I've got a little bit of footage that I can get together and get that out for you guys soon. I love that car. Something a little bit different. I'm not worrying about it getting it primo, and I don't want it to be too ratty. So it's going to be a quick tidy up job. But yeah, it's just another thing that I get to play with, and you guys get to watch. I did do a walk around video just to sell my XE Falcon. It was not really an episode as such. It was more so just an advertisement through my channel, and that's got like nearly 9,000 people looking at this video, but it didn't sell. So that's still available if anyone wants an XE. It's a really cool car. I will finish it if no one buys it. It doesn't bother me at all. But if you want a project, this is a very solid car to start with. So yeah, so far I've got rid of quite a few cars, which is good because it's clearing out some things that I wouldn't have got to, and it's left me with some more room, more time to get some other projects sorted. A couple of weeks ago, I done a video on making an air conditioner. That failed. I had some suggestions in the comments of what other options would work. Thank you for those. I tried some of those options and it still didn't really work that great. Don't get me wrong, like, it's okay, but not worth doing. 2 weeks ago, I also done a spare of the moment before Christmas release of some fresh merch, and I've done some banners, and I've done some t-shirts, and I've done some stubby holders and stickers and all this stuff. And I had a massive response. You guys have bought so much gear off me. I sold out of all my t-shirts. I sold out of all my posters. And it's amazing. I've got some new stuff coming in the new year. So once again, hugely appreciate all of the support that I've got from you guys. It has just been absolutely blowing me away. So, and then obviously just one last week ago, this is the last video I done, was of the 351 GXL XC Fairmont. That also, you guys seem to be loving the XC, factory V8 car, and you'll see a little sneak peek of an XW coming soon as well. So it's been a huge year, and at times, like I said, it feels like I am not really succeeding in what I'm trying to do, or I don't know, it feels like I'm slack at times, which I am, and I feel like I'm sort of dragging my feet sometimes. But now looking back at these videos, I'm pretty proud of what I've done, to be honest with you, and also hugely humbled by the support of everyone. Usually, like, generally speaking, 99.99999% of your comments are always good feedback, supportive, and yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for that. But yeah, as I said before, if you haven't seen any of these videos or scroll back through, you might have missed something. I'm going to do my best to keep bringing out plenty in the new year. There's going to be fresh merch coming out. There's going to be hopefully maybe an event. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, hopefully some progress with some new and some old projects. So thanks for coming back to the channel. I will see you all very soon on an upcoming episode of The Iron Empire. Cheers, guys.